my fellow comic book collectors. It's Alan, the Comic Collector Geek, and I'm joined with Stephen. Hi, Stephen. And
Hi, Alan.
it should be an interesting show. Yeah, I got a ton of Golden Age stuff just sort of around me, and I
How
guess
unusual!
Stephen has
I've
been
never
picking
seen
up some.
I've never seen Golden Age around you before.
I know, it's weird.
Like every
And
day.
you've been picking up some. I heard some. You sort of semi told me that you're picked up some today. So that
I have a big surprise at the end of my books that I will save to the end, and I think you're really going to be. It's something I had never seen before, and I had an opportunity, and I took it, and I think you're going to love it.
okay. So I actually I wanted to tell you a quick story, just a quick thing. Uh, Yesterday, I or going back further actually, a few months ago, somebody reached out to me, and at first I tried to do like the comic book shop thing, where he said, hey, I'll give you 60 to 70% of the value of the collection and blah blah blah. Like I try to be very like business like on it, okay? And I I saw that there was pushback, right? And then I was like, okay, I'll just give you fair market value. Because I wanted the books, right?
Oh
And then the
yeah.
guy, I guess after I did that, the guy was like, oh, okay, well, I'll only sell one of them to you. I had like about six or seven that I wanted, okay?
Mm. Hmm.
And he's like, oh, I think he thought because I was being not really, I was being a bit brutal at the beginning, that he would, not get the best deal through me, I guess. I think I kind of ruined the thing. So, but I did get one book from him. And, but there was one that I really, really wanted that he had
Mm.
that he wouldn't sell to me. I was like, okay, just give me two books. All I want is two books. I got one of them, but not the other. Well, yesterday the other came up for auction at Heritage.
His actual book came up.
Yeah, I think it was his. Yeah, I have a feeling it was his. Okay, so I put in I like weird. I don't usually do this, but I like once it went up, I actually put the bid in right then, like my highest price, and I let it sort of for the whole week. I was the highest bidder. Okay,
Hmm.
and I wanted to see what would happen, right? I put it, I did my shot. If I win it, I win it.
Well, you put your highest reserve. You didn't put
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
price. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So it was sitting at $400 for the whole week. Then it came up to the auction, and my reserve was 1050. And so the auction came up. I was like waiting for it. Actually, I wasn't feeling very well that day, so I slept up till the moment of the auction. I woke up just for that one piece of the auction.
Your internal alarm system went off. Wait a
My
minute, I've got to
internal
be
alarm
somewhere.
system.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. And so I woke up for that little piece of the auction, and I watched it, and it was going up. It was like kind of approaching my reserve. And I was like, oh shoot. Will I bid again if it goes beyond my reserve? No, I'm gonna stick to my guns. And it just stopped right at my reserve. Didn't go
how
past my
does that
reserve.
happen? I've had that happen to me too.
Uh,
How do they know? How do
uh,
they know, Alan? So
yeah,
1050, you got it, right?
that's what I felt. Yeah, I got it. So I won it. So
I've had that happen. I've had that happen 4 or 5 times. And I'm going,
mhm.
"God, it's getting closer. And then it stops. And it was just, $5 below my high reserve, my reserve. And I think to myself, how can they get it that close?
It was like right on, like right
How
on
am
my reserve.
how am I so lucky? Because I'm not that lucky. I mean, I ain't lucky, And so I said, how do they? And I've had that happen suspiciously. We actually, though, let's say hi to the chat if you would.
Okay. So yeah, so I did win it. Is the point. And the
Congrats.
the
You
the
won't tell us
comic
what it is,
is.
though.
I'll tell you guys what it is. It was a comic called Scoop 8, number 8.
Which is that cover?
It's the girl. She's kind of coming around a corner, and she's got like a gun in her hands.
Does she look like Patricia Neal, the dark-haired gal with a nice face?
I don't know what Patricia Neal is. Who's Patricia Neal?
Okay, like The Day the Earth Stood Still, Klaatu Barada Nikto.
Oh yes, I think that's the one.
She
Yes.
looks like
Okay.
Big Barda.
Hi
She looks
Lyle.
like Jack
Big
Kirby's
Lyle.
Big Barda.
Maybe. I'm not sure about that, but I'll send you a picture later. Okay.
Okay.
Hi Susie.
Hi,
Hi
Sue.
Lord
Hi, Big
Voss.
Lyle.
Hi Kamian.
Andreas the Scoffer.
And hi Stephen.
Uh-oh.
Hi Last Frontier.
Frontier.
Hi JSS. Hi
JSS John.
Brian.
Big Brian.
And hi Darren.
Darren.
Hi Still Only 35.
35 cents.
Hi Comic
Collector coat.
Comic Collector Coach. Oh, that's interesting. Instead of geek, it's coach. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Came in again. I'm trying to slide and it clicks it. Did I say hi, Kenneth?
Hello, Kenneth.
Hi, Lau. I saw Lau again. At the convention
Saturday
that
or
we went.
Sunday? Saturday?
It was Sunday. Sunday.
Sunday. Hello, Lau.
I'm freezing up a bit. Am I? Is that
Yes,
why
you
you were
are.
sort of slow to respond to me? I was like, oh, why is Stephen?
Well, you're freezing and zinging and pinging a little bit.
Oh, crap.
Now you just
Well, I
froze.
can't do anything about that unless
You
I go
just
somewhere
froze
else.
again too.
Okay. Well, I'll let you talk most of the time then.
Okay.
I hope at least if I freeze that I'm in a good position, not like some.
Oh, listen, if your mouth is open and you look half there and everything else, I will have great fun pointing you out to the crowd, and we will have a great deal of merriment at your expense. So I hope that you will enjoy this.
See, you're not freezing at all for me, so I would assume that I'm not frozen in real life.
I see.
Yeah.
You are you're a little bit pingy and zingy, but that's okay. I always love when you say, I hear an echo. Stephen, it's you. It's an echo. I hear an echo. It's you, Stephen.
Can I blame you for my internet?
Sure, please. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm
Okay, good.
broad shoulders, thick head, you know.
No, don't listen to K Munin, people. Please do not listen to
Everybody
K
get your cameras ready. This is a special treat that we're going to have for you, and then we will just splatter it all over the internet. And there's Ronnie Boy Comics.
Hi, Ronnie Boy. That's a new one. There's a couple new ones in the chat today.
Thank you for coming.
I gained a bunch of new subs over the weekend because of the video that we collaborated on indirectly.
Yes, I'm glad.
So yeah,
and now you're talking about how people have it wrong, and you're right, because we have talked about that, and if you guys haven't watched Alan's one on why everybody's wrong on this, everyone's saying that the sky is falling. Alan and I have this one actually figured out. We're not throwing up flags or blowing trumpets, but Alan points out very book and verse exactly what's happening, and I completely concur in his position.
I'm like, one thing I don't want people to think is that like in 10 months from now that it's going to be like the best sellers market ever. I'm not.
You never said that. You said that it would take at least that long.
It's switching
to turn the ship. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a pretty darn big aircraft carrier to turn. They don't turn on a dime.
Hi, Jerry. Yeah. So that's one thing I wanted to make clear, because I think a lot of people think, oh, well, he's, overly enthusiastic that it's gonna like recover, but hopefully I'm not freezing when I'm saying all this. I'm saying, like, I'm telling you guys the meaning of life and everything, and yeah.
The meaning of life is comic books. We already knew that. That's why we're
meaning of life is.
That's why I would.
Okay. So yeah. Oh, and hey, Matt's here too.
Big Matt.
Hi, Matt.
He doesn't want people to thick. I don't like them thicking either. I think thicking is highly overrated, Matt.
I don't like them. I like thin. I like more thin. Okay. So yeah. Okay. It's good that it's a buyer's market right now. Yes. The reason I actually like one last thing I had to talk about just before I switch it over to you, Stephen, is that the reason I said I like when the market is strong is that when the market is strong, I find that there's more confidence in comics in general, and then people will bring more things to market. Am I doing that again?
You're freezing
Am I
up big
pinning it
time,
again?
brother. You're looking good. I can't. It's too fast for a picture, though. Maybe someone will catch it.
Okay. So just read my lips if they're moving. And
It's
we'll
like watching subtitles with
pretend.
an American
Ah,
dub
shoot. Let's see
for
something.
a martial arts movie. Yes, I know that you were going to tell me that. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Well, we are going to go to the thing. What do you mean? I don't know. Ah, ah, ha, ha. What do you mean?
Okay. Oh well. Uh, oh well. I guess I won't tell you guys all the meaning of life again. Okay. So I'll let you go. You're gonna take over for a bit here.
I will do so. Do you want me to? Shall I shoot my bolt all the way through right now?
Um, how about we do it in 2 rounds?
2 rounds
Two
it is.
rounds.
Okay, I will start. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got all of these books are very, very. Alan asked me to bring out some glittery books, just like Susan was asking for. And if both Susan and Alan are asking me to provide glitter, by God, I'm providing glitter. I'm telling you.
That's a lot of glitter, actually. It's some nice books.
These are extremely hot, difficult, desirable books that are really hot button books, and each one of them was a challenge for me to put in the collection. All of these I had seen over a period of months and months and months, some years, where I never had an opportunity to get them. And this goes hand in glove with what Alan was just talking about, is that with the economy in the last few years not so hot and people needing money and inflation, that people were actually either selling their books to get other books, or they were selling books because they wanted to get their money out so that they could take care of business, because comic books are a luxury. And so a lot of these things, so I would say that the lion's share of all the books that I have up here, all of those were a function of to a large degree of people basically either taking their profit or covering themselves to, either they're going to sell these books and go after these nice books and go after even yet still nicer books, or they needed the money for their family and to support their family and pay insurance and property taxes and all those mundane things, but we have to do it. So in any event, that's why when they would come up, this is what I always call, this is my doctrine, is target of opportunity doctrine. And you have to understand that if you have a target of opportunity to get something and then you pass on it, figure that the chances are you're not going to get another shot. And I have spent myself down to a large degree, sometimes to the point of right into the quick of my fingers, because I know for a fact that the chances of me finding that book again are between slim and none. And Slim left town. So those are those up there. The War Fury is a huge book, very hard to get. This Witchcraft book, I looked for Kelly Freas cover, took the longest time. I had a lower grade copy of The Spirit I was very happy to have. And then this one showed up and I traded my lower grade one and then made up the difference to get that one. And that's the coolest Spirit Good Girl cover. That's arguably the best quality comic Good Girl cover that there is, and it's an Eisner. And there are award covers, and they're really good covers. But that Eisner cover right up there is it is so amazing. And the name of the gal is Skinny. That's her name. And the villainess in this it's just a great name, is a noirette, black-haired gal, and her name is Dulcet Tone. And so Skinny ends up going into the drink and basically using the knife that she's pulling out of her thigh holster, which is her stocking. And she basically shivs Dulcet Tone underwater, and it's adios, Dulcet Tone. The Catman is an L.B. Cole cover, fantastic. This is a Gus Ricka cover. I'm not sure who did this one, Alan. Do you remember who did this Underworld Crime?
Which
Alan,
one is that?
Who did
underwater
Underworld Crime?
Underground crime, Underworld Crime. It's unknown artist.
Okay. And And this is the little man who wasn't there. This is little guy standing on the neck of this poor frail, jamming a needle into her neck with a Dick Tracy dude coming in from behind.
I
And
love
then
that one. That's one
and
of my
then of
favorites.
course we have this Ogden Whitney cover here, which is just really, it's you can't see the books on top. I mean,
Can you see them now?
can you see them now? Can't really see the books on top.
Because it's probably too far away. It's like a million miles away.
I'll just do a quick flip because I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
that
Just show them. Just show them. I mean, they're great books. They deserve to be shown.
here's the
I'm not
Spirit.
sure if you guys can hear me, but I'll pretend.
I hear you. I hear you. This is
Okay.
there is
I
skin.
love that book.
This is a 7.0. That's an incredibly high grade for this book.
Yeah.
Here is
That's crazy.
what is that?
It's a crazy high grade. When did you get that? Like, you got it after me, though.
Which
Somehow,
the
you
Spirit
didn't
book?
pay that much.
The
This-
Spirit book or this
Spirit
one?
one. Yeah.
This one?
Spirit.
Yeah, I got this
Or
after.
did you get it before me?
No, I got it after you. You had it first, and I always thought it was just, I hardly even see Catman and Kitten on the cover. I just go and look right at the guy, which is Dr. Macabre.
Mm-hmm.
He is evil, and his parents said, what should we name our child? Doom Squad Macabre. I don't know.
No.
It's
He's
such a great.
doomed to have a bad day when
He's going to have a bad day.
Mm.
Here is the Underworld Crime cover, which is just absolutely stunning copy. The colors on this book are just, I'm all about the colors in books, but this is just a dynamite.
Wait. Twinsies. What's your grade?
4.5.
Ah, of course. Can't win them all. Okay.
I bid on a 3.0 and the guy wouldn't come down.
Yeah.
I tried before and I said, well, I can't. I want the book badly, but I can't choke so high up for it. You can only go there. You reach a point.
Mm-hmm.
She's not wearing Matt. She's not wearing clown makeup. It is the glow of the burning fire, the burning sword or the burning blade that he's gonna start carving her up. It's the reflection off of her face.
It's what's it called? Not a branding iron. It's
Well, it's a torture device by any other name. I don't know if it's like a flame and acetylene torch or whatever it is, but I mean, she's in deep trouble. And the guys, they're total sociopaths. It's really an incredibly creepy cover.
It's a great cover, though.
And of course, on the back is a no-cost talking parakeet.
I know.
Now, friends, here's
one of the best gifts ever.
And what they want you to do is, it's a thing for film. It's a thing where you buy you get camera, then you have the film developed, and they make their money on the developed film. And of course, when you get the box, you have to rattle it a little bit to see if you've got basically an experiment rather than a live bird. The bird says, "Let me out of here." Here is this beautiful Gus Ricca, the Experimenter cover.
Yeah, it's a beautiful cover. The
colors on this one, again, it's just and down below you can see all these guys. Hey, I got pretty good resolution tonight. They got
actually,
one.
It's turning out well.
Isn't that a beaut?
So I love it.
So those are those. I'll put them back up when Alan's showing. I'll throw them back up, and I'll pull the other 4 down to show. I'll pull the other 5 down to show. Okay, now the other ones, which are going to seem lower than those are.
Those are the big ones.
I start with Skyman. Skyman #1. Again, this is the same guy that did that. My whatever it is. My
secret romance. Yeah.
My romantic adventures. Is Ogden Whitney, and this is Ogden Whitney, and he's, if you ever watch Rocky and Bullwinkle, they always had Floyd and Clydney were the Moon Men, and they would, and one, I think Floyd had a scrooch gun. And so whenever they'd freeze people by scrooching them. And so Skyman is scrooching this warlord guy. And he's got a sign, and he's got
Hi, Graphic Man.
he's got a treasure chest. The guy's got a treasure chest that he basically has rolled sixes trying to get into or whatever. But this is a 7, which is a pretty good grade for this book. This book is Skyman #2, and this is the highest graded copy extant of this book. Again, an Ogden Whitney cover, and this is from the Rockford collection. And it is, whoops, he's upside downy. This is a wartime cover where you see that the Japanese atrocities, typhus, cholera, all these different types of terrible diseases and poisons. And he's coming in from his ship was called the Wing. It's like a flying wing. Very cool. And he's got all kinds of.
But he's blasting it. Wouldn't that just spread it all over the place?
It's Skyman, and he has secret filters, just like in that movie with Mila Jovovich. Can't think of the name of it. Ultraviolet, where they have the filters because of the things that. Anyway, this is the Windy City copy of Leading Comics #1.
Oh, weird. I actually just grabbed something because I thought you were going to show something else.
I can't show it here, Alan.
I thought you were going to show Skyman 3. So I grabbed my copy of Skyman 3.
I'm sorry. My Skyman 3 is raw, and I went basically with slabs tonight.
My Skyman 3 is raw too.
So, I have Skyman 3 and 4. I have those raw.
I'll show it in my round. Okay. Leading Comics #1. That's awesome.
And as I said, this is the Windy City copy pedigree. And this is the first cover appearance of Green Arrow and Speedy, and their second appearances overall. And the 7 Soldiers of Victory, and you'll notice that Stripesy is not on the cover.
And that's the first cover appearance of Vigilante, yeah.
Yes, and of the Vigilante. Did you know the Vigilante uses his guns, but he never shoots anyone?
Well, that's how it works.
That's how it is. And he rides around on a motorcycle with a little kid on, his youthful ward is, and they spend all this time in motels and stuff. Okay. And I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Tony,
it's a different era.
I'll tell you, when you were a youthful ward back in those days, you earned your pay, boy.
Oh man.
Ew. Here is the highest graded copy of Star Spangled Comics #2.
That was funny.
With Dr. Weird.
Okay.
It's a Hal Sherman cover, and Hal Sherman was the artist for Star Spangled, for the Star Spangled Kid and Stripesy.
I don't think you've shown this one before, by the way.
I've shown several of these before.
I'm not sure about this one. I don't remember this one.
Okay.
It's really cool. It's really cool.
This is from the Billy Wright collection. And he was this poor kid that died young, as I recall.
Oh, no.
And then this was through Heritage, and it's one of the named auctions. As and when you say is it a pedigree? No, it's like the John Burke collection. It is a named collection. It is not a pedigree per se, because they didn't buy them new, but they accumulated them and had a particular, when the Steve Gentner collection finally comes out,
It's kind of like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
It is the Superstar Racer, and it can fly. And basically look at the prow, the ship. It looks like a Graham Page shark nose. But you look at that car with that sharp prow, and it's got stars over the headlight.
Almost like a Batmobile look to it.
Well, of course.
Okay.
They's dumb, but they ain't stupid. Okay, that's my half.
Okay. Oh, hopefully I'm not going to lag too much. Am I still lagging?
What? Yeah, no, you're not. No, you're not.
Okay. Hopefully I'm good.
You're very good.
Okay. So since you showed Skyman and you didn't show Skyman 3, here's Skyman 3. I figured somebody has to show it since you showed the first two. There's only 3 in the series, and they're all
Four.
Ogden Whitney
There are
covers.
four.
There's 4. Oh, okay. Well,
There is
now
a
there's
fourth.
4. There is a 4th in the series. I only have 1 out of the 4. So I didn't realize. I thought there was 3 in the series, but I guess it's 4. Okay. Well, that's interesting. And then here's one. That's another kind of a cool book. This is an LB Cole cover, Popular Teenagers. And this is one of those ones you have to be a little bit careful when you buy these Popular Teenagers. A lot of them, like, it'll say accepted reprint, accepted print, accepted, or I think it's just accepted actually. And that's the reprint. This is the first printing. So it says Star Publications. But it's a cool book. And I know we both have this one. Tell It to the Marines. And
Yeah,
they're like, we'll be just, well, I'll be just an, must be an enemy trick. And the other guy's like, who cares? That's a very common joke in a lot of comics where they say, who cares? Like, they'll say whatever, and and if it's a sexy girl, they'll just go, who cares?
yeah. Spike and Bat.
Mm. And then you showed some LB Cole, so I'll show some LB Cole as well. It's my very low grade Catman number 30.
They're so tough to get, though. They really, and they're very dear to get. I had a chance to buy the Mile High collection of Catman.
Oh, that would have been nice.
And they wanted, even at the time, they wanted, at the time when it should have cost somewhere between $15,000 and $16,000 for all of them, and that would have been a high price. The seller wanted $33,000, and I said, "Thank you very much," and I passed.
Wow. But probably now just one book out of that would be worth that much.
Hard to tell.
Yeah, they're pretty pricey. Even in low grade, these things go for like a 1.0 would go for about $500 kind of level.
Mm.
So yeah, they're pretty expensive. But yeah, Catman. This is Chaz Quinlan, and just some random stuff. Skeleton Hand.
Jeez Louise.
I got
She's
this
there
from
for her date.
Actually, I bought a lot that had this in it, and from Heritage, and this is the one I wanted. I thought this was cool. I just like this snake girl.
It's cool. Any idea who
Yeah.
did the cover, or no idea?
No idea. No idea. It's like one of those ones I'm not sure about. But okay, then we got some. I was going through my Jungle books and I was sorting them all out.
Mm.
This is sort of
Now,
Lawrence of Arabia kind of look to it.
who is this? Is that the Dagar stuff?
Um,
Dagar, the Desert Eagle?
yes, this is Dagar. Yeah.
Dagar's the guy.
Dagar's the guy. Yes, I know. It's sort of he's the guy that kind of looks like Lawrence of Arabia. Is what I was saying. I believe this is his first appearance, actually.
I think you're right. Then he got his own title.
Yeah, and I actually have the complete run of Dagar. But this one is, I believe this is like maybe a Kamen and Matt Bakerish mix. I don't know.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, it's very nice. I like the little alligator or crocodile. I always forget how to tell which one's which. One has eyes that kind of pop up.
Alligators have a wider head. Crocodiles have a narrower head.
But which is this?
Yes.
Exactly. So, and one are from Africa, and crocodiles are from Africa, right? And
Well, they're
alligators
around,
are
and
more
an
North
alligator, and
American.
the gators are all down in Florida.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Gators are Florida. Like, I'm thinking North American kind of thing. Well, except not in Canada. We don't have alligators here, unless they're pets. And then this one's kind of a major book. I'm gonna flip it around. One sec here. Oh shoot! I just lost a piece of it. Okay.
No, I hope not.
Yeah, seriously, the corner just popped off.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. So this is Jumbo Comics number 69. And this is the very first time that Matt Baker did artwork was in this book.
He did the interior art of the women in the Jumbo Comics story. He did both the Sheena and also this sort of slave gal that's in there, and they are definitely Matt Baker characters.
Yeah, I'll Gorilla glue it. So, it's like,
well, JSS sends it to Jerry, and he'll fix it for you.
Yeah, I'll just stick it back on. So yeah, but basically, yeah. So he did Sky Girl in it. That was his, first thing that he worked on. Okay, and then I have some more Jumbo.
Nice leopard.
Yeah, it's really well done. And some more Jumbo.
Are those Zolnarovich or Doolin or who?
I think this is Zolnarovich.
He's good. He has a look. I like it, but I confess that I prefer Joe Doolin's work, and people don't even talk about Doolin at all.
Yeah, I know. I like Doolin better too.
But I don't mind. I don't mind Zolnarovich. It is a style.
I think this is Doolin, or maybe it's Maurice Whitman. I don't know.
Solardo did some too.
Okay, so I'm just flipping through them, seeing who did the covers. I'm not sure. I kind of like it when they, like autograph it, where who the artist is.
There's a curved dagger, but I don't know if that's Cayman, because the animals
does not look like Cayman.
The animals look like animals, because Cayman's animals all have faces on them.
Yeah, this does not look like Cayman at all to me.
No,
the girl doesn't look right either.
But it's the Iger House look, if you will, where they've taken the look of Baker and Cayman and merged them and bent them. It's interesting though, Alan. The Feldstein portion of the program seems to have gotten lost from the chest structure. Although that one's not too bad, but Feldstein's read sort of went away when Feldstein did.
Yeah, they became more flat-chested.
that is the abrupt way to say it. Yes, that definitely ain't no Feldstein. I'll tell you that one.
Yeah. I mean, look, she's sans booby.
Do you know what they say about that? Those treasure hunters that have girls like that.
Yeah.
Sunken chest.
Sunken chest. Yeah. This one I actually just traded. I had a second copy of it that was lower grade that I traded off.
God, the cat looks really good. Ears back and the whole bit.
I know, the cat's really awesome.
Now I'm assuming that is Sheena's cat, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
What's his name? Ebony? What's the name of the cat?
Kitten? I don't know. I'm not sure. I have no idea what the cat's name is. I actually used to know. I've read it. I mean, I should know. I just don't remember the name.
Matt said that 107's cover artist was indeed John Solardo.
John Solardo. Okay, yeah. So I know there was like 3 or 4 different ones that did it, like Doolin, Solardo, Zolnarovich. Zolnarovich did a lot of the earlier ones, if I'm not mistaken.
WKOS07, hello there. I don't know if I've seen you before, but welcome to the crew.
Hey, that's a new person. Hi, new person.
Hello,
and this is obviously, I think this is Ogden Whitney.
Ogden Whitney or Maurice Whitman?
Maurice Whitman. I meant Maurice.
No, I knew what you meant. I meant.
I meant Maurice Whitman.
Through the face.
It's the mouth and the face that always.
Yeah. Oh no. And there's the colorist, the inker. But his line work is so fine. That really looks like Maurice Whitman.
Yes, it's not the first appearance of her cat, but okay. So that is my round. or actually, I'll show one more. Just another LB Cole that's right next to me.
You know, the guy with the glasses looks either like Scott Summers, looks like Scott Summers from the X-Men, doesn't he?
A little bit. I can see that. Okay.
Yeah, I love that he wrote that thesaurus. I mean, he
He
wrote
did this
that
on all of his books,
encyclopedia
and
there.
nobody. You can't like even like if you like. Okay, if I zoom in, you can actually maybe read it.
This beautiful world at my feet for 14 days. If these people knew what I really am, they'd be surprised. Well, maybe this comedy is the most foolish thing I've done in my life, but I feel like a goddess. And maybe it'll get me someplace. Get me someplace. It'll get her someplace.
But it's like if you actually look at the comic, like in
You
the
won't even see
regular
it.
size,
You don't see it.
It's really hard to read. It's like
I
I don't
think,
know.
to be
But he
honest,
did it on like a lot of his comics. Like I don't know
I think
why.
it was an error. I think that he could have gone without any word bubbles and left it, and it would have been just as
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
better.
So here's the piece of the comic that fell off. I'm gonna try to put it back on. Hopefully it'll stay. Okay. I'll go back to you now.
All right. I pulled down the other set of books that were up on the wall. This is Manhunt number 14, Magazine Enterprises, Bondage Hypodermic Needle cover, LB Cole and Graham Ingalls art.
Nice. That's one of my favorite hypodermic needle covers, I guess, would be the category.
Well, the little guy's having a really good time. I can tell you that. He's having a ball. And I think
Actually, I
he is.
read that story. It's quite funny. The guy can shrink himself down into like a little.
He's a bad cat, you know?
Mm,
And I
yeah.
played, and the song that I put, and this is from 1953, just like I am from 1953.
Mhm.
But there's a Glenn Miller song called "The Little Man That Wasn't There,"
Yeah, and that's
and that
basically
was
the story.
and that was the song that I put on this, was "The Little Man Who Wasn't There."
Perfect, perfect.
And if you want to really be a hit at parties, I mean, be a hit. The girls are crazy for it. There are two things that you can do that the women, they cannot resist you. One is bring your accordion and play your accordion. The other is to bring your harmonica and make friends.
Oh yeah.
Everybody will just be so happy. I ordered one of
It
those.
worked for a Weird Al Yankovic.
I got one of the U.S. Marine harmonicas and it came in a box and everything. The
Okay.
coolest thing was opening the box and taking it out, and and then trying to do the, Matt.
That's a cute one. That's a cute. I actually like that joke.
Here is Murderous Gangsters #1, Avon, from July of 1951. Wally Wood and looks like Shoe F. Fling art. I don't know what that is. But anyway, this is the cover on this one.
Oh yeah, I love Murderous Gangsters. I actually just finished that.
Murderous Skanksters. They are skanky, Alan. They are incredibly skanky.
I said gangsters. Maybe I'm lagging when I'm saying it, but I said gangsters.
I know you
I
did.
actually completed that run. I had the full run of that.
Spot any car trouble in a jiffy. You got your A-frame fell out, lady. You got yourself a flat tire. This is the Kelly Frias covered Witchcraft Comics #5, Avon, from December 1952, January 1953. And the designation is classic painted cover, and it is.
Oh yeah, I love that book. You got that before I did, but I had to get it.
Well, I know we have both talked about this, Alan. We were both going for it. There were a couple that had come up that were lower grade, and they wanted the Earth, Moon, and the Stars, and we both said, at some point, hopefully. But this is another one of these books that I got it, but someone wanted to sell. And
Hmm.
because they want, and I got it in a 5, which is a really high grade
Really high grade.
book.
Yeah. Nice.
But look at the colors on her, the purples and the violets and all of that, and the greens, and there's a green tone over everything, even
Yeah.
all the skeletons. I
Yep.
think I'll walk through the graveyard to get home. Gee, it's awfully crunchy on my feet. Good thing I'm barefoot.
Yeah. I mean, why is she running
What is
barefoot?
going on? I'm on my way to the Christmas party in my red and white so I can be like Mrs. Santa Claus. But her hair has like 8 different colors in her hair. It's just
Hmm.
an unbelievably good cover.
Yeah.
And they have this really creepy Uncle Bernie's Fun Shop where they have the baby that wets and the really creepy Hopalong Cassidy doll. I do like the Mr. Peanut Bank, though. I do kind of like that.
I'd love to see, like, I imagine there's people out there that have these in their collections, right?
Hmm.
I'd love to see kind of those collections of like the things that were offered in ads. It'd be fun.
This book is called War Fury #1, and this has a Don Heck cover and art. And this cover was horrific 3 or 5, Alan,
I think it's 3.
where they took the head of this buddy who got shot in the head, they turned it around and they made that the entire cover. They
I still
basically,
think this is the better cover, strangely.
well, it's so lyrically lovely anyway, Alan, with a guy with a bullet hole in the middle. And this guy, you murdered my buddy, will you? And then
Oh,
basically
thank you,
this,
Matt. With Uncle B. What does that mean?
that's the guy from the back cover that has all those creepy toys where
Oh,
he'll turn you,
okay.
he'll turn Matt into the Matt toy. Matt toy, he talks. We only have one of them.
Oh, wow.
$95.
That sounds like some kind of like Tales of the Crypt story or something.
It is. But this guy is being basically immolated by a flamethrower. But the interesting thing is that the red Chinese guy looks like he's carrying a Luger, which would not make much sense, but nevertheless. But isn't this, it's so barbarous.
I mean,
And
the fact that he's getting burned there
alive.
too is, yeah, burned alive is
And
crazy.
this is from September of 52. And as you all know, in September of 54 came the code. But covers like this was what made people, and Alan has pointed this out quite a few times, that they got crazier and crazier and crazier towards the end. And it's just like, and so, but finding these books, I generally, as you know, if you've watched me, I do tend to shoot for the higher grades, but there are sometimes, I'm
He's from
sorry,
a
I'm not
different
trying.
era. Different era.
Immolated, burned alive. Immolated means burned alive. I'm sorry. I just those.
Immolated. Well, I thought that was a
Okay, I am
pretty cool one.
vocabulary is one of the things I my parents were, mother and father both were about penmanship and using correct words. And if
I
I
think
hello knives, and using correct words was always important to them. And if I had a word wrong, my father would always go like this. And I said, "Well, what does
mm,
it mean?" He says, "Look it up." I said, "Well, how can I look it up if I don't know what it is?" Look it up. So anyway, that's the
you know what the thing I like one of my teachers would do that and she would say, "Look it up," but I'd be like, "I don't know how to spell it." And then they would look it
they
up.
say,
I'm
look
like,
it up anyway. Look it up anyway. Thank you very much, Dr. Mengele.
yeah, I know, it's like so mean.
It's okay. It didn't affect me at all. What do the words mean? Um, this book was absolutely scalding hot when it was discovered. It had been lying there in plain sight for everyone for so long. But then one day someone saw this book, and then all of a sudden, and the prices went crazy and everybody was scrambling to get a copy. And this is mine.
Oh, okay, wait. That one I can grab.
You'll notice that her fingers are indicating a certain biological process. And that used to be something when they would use their fingers like that for that. She's got nose cones, and this is very, very much tattoo art, and it's gray tone.
Mine looks more yellowy, but it could be the lighting.
I think it's the lighting because I know that. Yeah, but yours, you have good colors on yours for sure.
There, I can make it even look better. But it's missing a big chip right here. That's the only thing that's bad about mine.
Well, you see, I have a 5.5
this-
because if you notice, see right up at the top that little teeny piece that came off.
Oh yeah, like mine lost a big piece down here. So look.
Oh yeah, but her little shoes and everything else, and the poor schmuck that's there waiting.
Yeah, really nice one.
So there's that. And they haven't given up on the harmonicas because they've got a warehouse full of them. Now they put Tex Smith on the job. Let me show you how to win popularity with the harmonica. The ABC method. Always bring cocaine. Here is probably, well, all of them are good, but one of my absolute top, and Alan
Oh,
will
he looked it up. It's with an E. Yes. Immolation. Yeah.
So here is,
sorry.
That's all right. Here is one of my favorite Junior covers, and Alan has this one too, and he paid a lot less than I did for this one. I paid up for this because they're very hard to find this particular cover because of the content. There are two gals that this Junior is the clown with the Archie with blonde hair.
And that's
Dina. There are two girls that are the Betty and Veronica. Do you know their names, Alan, or should I not ask?
Dina and what's the other girl's name? What's the other girl's name? I forgot.
I can't remember.
Oh, I know it too.
Fanny, Janny.
No, it's like I think it begins with an A for some reason. It was just it was just in the comic we read on the book club. We read Junior, like Junior number 16.
Alan, look it up while I'm doing this.
You want me to look it up?
Yeah, so we know. Or actually, Matt.
I'll look it up.
No. We'll have our expert, Mr.
Matt. Get Matt to do it. Matt, that's Matt's job. Matt's in the chat. He can do it. Yeah, he's
Mr. Matt.
Matt, what was the other girl's name in Junior? It's Emily. Yeah. I can't.
That's not her name. So I purchased this book when I bought Star Spangled Comics #1 and Star Spangled Comics #2, the one that you saw.
Get after him, JX.
Stat. Yeah, stat. And there's Jim Lentini. Hello there. Gwenny, that's it. Thank you. I always remember Dina, but I remember
Dina, but Gwenny. I forgot Gwenny. Yeah, Gwenny is such a weird name. It's not like one that I think of.
Gwenny is the blonde who's got nose cones, and Dina is the one that is the noirette that has nose cones. And they're always changing into lingerie together, and they're sleeping together, and
they're taking showers and stuff.
And they're taking showers, and won't it be fun tonight? And what are you going to wear? And I've got this costume. I think I'll wear this. Oh wow, that's fun! Wow, and all that, And they have one, and they have.
Try another one on so we can get naked again for no apparent reason.
Yes, thank you very much, Matt.
Yes, so Matt to the rescue.
I had this. I bought this book, and I bought Star Spangled 1 and Star Spangled 2 from the same guy. And this one has the first appearance. Wow. This is the first appearance of the Star Spangled Kid and Stripesy. Inside, it's a 2-page. It's actually a 2-page story, and it tells their origin of what their motivation was to become superheroes, and where they were. They were in a theater watching a movie. And they said fifth columnists came in. Now you see the reason why is because this is Action Comics number 40, and it's from September of 1941, which would have meant probably August of 1941. But the drums of war were beating very heavily, and we were providing Lend-Lease destroyers and all other kinds, lots of other materiel. The destroyers first, the World War I destroyers. 4 stackers, so that they could basically do for convoys, because the Brits didn't have enough for the convoys. And it's sort of like the movie Greyhound is sort of about like that, although I think the destroyer he's on is a nicer destroyer. But the fact was, the Brits called them gift horses. And
Hmm.
that's what they called these 50 World War I destroyers, because they needed all kinds of work and they had an open bridge. And I mean, the whole technology of ships from World War I to World War II changed so dramatically. And but they said, but we didn't look the gift horse in the mouth, and they served the British very well. But this was the one that I held on. It was raw, and I held on to it for years and years and years, and always loved reading it and seeing the 2-page story. Well, anyway, what happened was the fifth columnists came in and started busting up the theater because they were showing Allied action in because the Battle of Britain was already over by 1941. The Battle of Britain was in 1940, and so the Star Spangled Kid Pemberton and his chauffeur Stripesy basically pen what's his name Don Gardino, and so they basically they pounded the hell out of these fifth columnists, and the kid says, Matt Pemberton or whatever his name is, Pemberton was telling Pat Dugan, I think is his name.
Yeah,
So he
Dugan. Dugan is his name. Yeah.
Pat Dugan. So he ends up then Stripesy. It's the reversal. The chauffeur, the big adult, becomes the sidekick to the kid,
Hmm.
the Star Spangled Kid. He didn't have a cosmic rod. He just was tough and was really cool at this point. And so then they went out and then he had the money to build the star chaser car and everything else. And
Hmm.
so and you can tell that they're gearing up for the war, because what you have is you have all these pre-war planes with pre-war markings on them, and they're talking about U.S. Royal tires, rayon cord tires.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Take a tip from a Navy torpedo.
I don't know if I'd want to take a tip from a
If you take a tip,
torpedo.
that's about the last thing you'll do.
Just the tip? I don't know.
Oh, Alan! I heard that's a game. Okay, never mind,
Yeah,
never mind.
yeah.
Why do I know? I don't know what you're talking about, Alan. Um, here's another book that I got
Those
at about.
planes had great rubbers.
There you go. Uh, I don't know, with the rayon cord ticklers. Okay, so here was
Okay.
All Star Comics #4 was another book that I had in raw that I bought from my LCS for not much because it had a pronounced spine roll, and I sent this to Kenny Sanderson to clean and press, as I did the other one. I did the Action 40, and then I also had a Captain Marvel that I did as well. But anyway, but here is it. It came back a 5/5
Oh, very nice.
with off-white pages, and it's just this is the first adventure where they're all together. And you know that the whole story, it's real. If you go on my wall, is you have to scroll pretty far down to see it though. But it's this the story is about how propaganda and anti-Americanism was being used and being infiltrated into indoctrinate our children, that the teachers that were teaching bad things to the kids and making them not love America where they were living. And they didn't talk about the good things about America. They talked about the bad things of America. And they were saying that we have to control and we have to stop this because they're indoctrinating our children. I won't go any further, but the metaphor for right now is just too strong. Here is, and of course, on the back of this one, we have to have a Red Ryder cowboy carbine.
Very nice.
Now, today I was going to buy Charlton Pebbles and Bam Bam comics from a dealer friend of mine, and in high grade. That's why he said, I found these are in really high grade. They're real cute, and they are. I looked at them. But he had two things that he had that this one he had just come in. This is Action Comics number 163 from DC Comics from December of 1951. It has a Win Mortimer cover, and it's what happens when the man of tomorrow meets the girl of tomorrow. And it's a really cool, good girl cover.
Oh, yeah. That's a really good one. There are a few good girl covers in Superman.
Yes,
One of them. That's
this is
hilarious.
action.
Well,
And
yeah, I mean with Superman, I meant.
yeah, with Superman. But she's got all this stuff. She says, "Wait, Superman, my ability to read minds tells me that you're Clark Kent. So unless you agree to marry me, everybody's trying to marry this guy. If you don't agree to marry me, the whole world will learn your secret." Now, if
That's
it
what
was,
happened with my wife and I. Oh my goodness.
is that right? That she saw your secret identity?
Yeah.
Alan, you're Clark Kent?
Yeah, didn't you know? Like
Wow.
okay, go ahead.
And so this is, but this is the proportions of Win Mortimer as opposed to Wayne Boring or Kurt Swan is
Mhm.
quite different, and very his girls are, and the colorist did a beautiful job.
Yeah, really, I like the colors on that a lot. Yeah.
Inside, it's Win Mortimer cover, and the stories inside have Wayne Boring. I would assume he did the Superman story.
Superman stuff, yeah.
Stan Kay, Kurt Swan, Ed Smalley, and Bob Brown art. All
Wow.
of those people are in this. Every one of them is
Mhm.
a heck of an. And the thing is, when you look at books and you look at these and you see these artists, you see people, the people that actually created our our hobby, the geniuses that were able to, these fabulous artists that were able to do this. And my friend had showed this to me a long time ago, and he said, maybe sometime, I do not know time, Tunnel Todd,
Mm.
sometime that he said I may consider, but it's a very expensive thing, and I don't know if you'd be interested. But the minute I saw it, I was really, really interested. Back in 1998, on August the 15th, uh, at one point there was this we had it. There was an association that really wasn't that didn't really lift off the ground very well. The American Association of Comic Book Collectors, the AACC. And I was a member for a while, and it was like $5 or $10 that you would cough in and what have you, and they would have various things. But what happened was they had one of the big event that they would have was they would have a banquet. There was and they had done this. I think this is the sixth one that they did. Again, August 15th, 1998. And what they did was the Comic Book Marketplace, which was the periodical that I wrote for. They put a sketch cover over it. They put a white paper thing over it, and it's the Stan Lee episode. I think it's the July 15th of 1998 issue of the Comic Book Marketplace. I've taken pictures of this inside, and I will be posting this on my Instagram. I have, not only do I have a letter inside that I took a picture of, which provides that about when Alex Schomburg passed away. I wrote a letter, a soliloquy to him, and at the time they were talking about the grading standards, and I wrote a forum piece, quite a long one, about the subjective adjective grading system, because because they were trying to come up with a number system, 1 through 100 or something, which it was too many numbers. And so it never really went anywhere. They tried to do it, but it didn't take. The Overstreet did. And so what happened was, then the question of, of course they use coin grading technology, good, very good,
Yeah,
fine, very
fine,
fine.
very fine, yeah.
And so they don't use almost uncirculated or brilliant, but
Yeah.
they use almost every other coin collector, because if you have a book, it's mint, but it
Mhm.
shouldn't be mint, it should be print. Do you see what I mean? So,
Oh
but
yeah,
that,
it's true because it's not minted, it's
it's
printed.
not minted, it's printed.
Hmm.
And so, but this is the terminology that was so good with coins, that to apply those standards to adjective, subjective adjective system. And so that's what that was the phrase that I coined for it. And then I wrote a big piece on it, which I also took a picture of, and you can read it. It's absolutely scintillatingly brilliant. But what they did was they invited as many creators and writers as they could to come. and I have signatures from John Broome,
Oh wow.
Russ Heath, Shelley Moldoff, Ramona Fredone, Bob Haney, Paul Reinman, Murphy Anderson, Mark Evanier, Joe Simon, John Severin, Scott Shaw. Then underneath the gold thing is it was the guest of honor was John Severin.
So
Underneath
what year is this from?
1998.
And these people are all alive then?
They are all, well, getting them to sign from the grave was very difficult,
No, I
Alan.
mean
I mean, they dug them
I
up.
didn't realize they lived that long.
Well, they did, but they were obviously they were very elderly people at the time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And then, but check this out. Underneath the gold label in the top, just underneath that is Nick Carty, Dick
Wow.
Sprang, Jim Mooney, Julia Schwartz, Vincent Sullivan, who was the editor and artist of Fair 39, right?
Wow.
And
Yeah,
the bubbles, Nate from Hall, yeah, Comics. When I was trying to remember who the artist was for the Sandman, which was Bert Crispin, he said, "Was it Fred Gardner?" Fred Gardner did the picture bubbles down the right side of the cover, but the main cover was drawn by Vin Sullivan. But Fred Gardner signed it, and Roy Thomas.
Wow, like
Now,
all the big names.
and so what you have here is a very, very important piece of comic book history when all of these people got together and signed this.
Mm. I mean, these are all the big DC people. Does it have Wayne Boring?
It does not have Wayne Boring, but it has Shelley Moldoff, and it has John Broome, who was the writer for Flash. As you know, I keep Gardner Fox did some too. I'm going to back up maybe over there. We go. Gardner Fox did some, but Julie Schwartz, Vinnie Sullivan.
I know, lots of big names.
So anyway, I got this, and inside the wrap on this is the Stan Lee episode. I will be posting this in pictures of my articles on the inside. Like I said, they printed my letter to the editor, and they also printed me up in the forum. And because I had double, that's why he didn't make it.
He didn't quite. That's why, like when you said a lot of these names, I'm thinking they lived up till 90s. Even I was like in the 1990s. I mean, I thought they would have been dead like in the 70s or 80s. You know, I mean, these people.
A lot of them were. But you understand, these were young men when they started. But Vincent Sullivan, as you remember, I actually talked to Vincent Sullivan in 1992 or 3 or whenever I was doing my research for the Sandman. And and he came down from upstate New York to go to this thing, because I would assume this was at Timon in Maryland is where it was, or they basically, what they did was they would fly them all in so that they could come attend it, especially the guy of honor, which was John Severin.
Wow.
So anyway, I thought that you might find that interesting.
Is that like one of a kind thing? I mean, did they have multiple copies that they all signed like that, or is this a one of a kind thing?
The people that attended it cost in 1998. It cost $150.
Wow, big money
to go to this banquet. So as you might imagine, there were not a lot of people that were going to choke up $150, but my buddy did, and he went and traveled to it to go to meet all these people and have them sign this, and he brought it home and kept it.
That's amazing.
And this was not an inexpensive thing to get, but I have no idea what the cost of each one of these signatures is to try, but so many of them are gone that
a lot of them you don't actually find signed things from them. Like, the only Golden Age artist that actually has a fairly prolific art, like a signature, would be either Stan Lee, I guess, or
Ken Bald has a few.
Yeah, Ken Bald. Those are the two that I was thinking.
But Ken Bald lived to 109 or whatever it was.
He lived forever, basically.
He lived a long time.
Yeah.
And Ken Bald was a war hero. He enlisted in the Marine Corps, and as just being rather than being drafted, he enlisted. And when he went over to Iwo Jima and Peleliu, and those that he basically was so good and was so smart and a great Marine that he achieved the rank of captain before he left, and he was with not only Marine Corps. The Marine Corps hooked up with Army intelligence because the Army guys were going ashore. The Marines would go in first, then would come the Army. And so the Army was involved in a lot of the intelligence stuff that he because of his service. And I mean, the guy was decorated. I mean, Ken Bald was an amazing. Bob Brown was another one that I was mentioning on that Action comic. He was in a B-29. They were bombing Tokyo with Kurt LeMay. So all of these guys, I always, as you know, if you watch our shows, the timeline and the times in which the books were actually produced are very important to me, because it gives you an idea of what the kids were feeling and how they were and what it was like. And if you can imagine lying on the carpet listening to the radio and then having Normandy happen, what book were you reading when we went ashore on Omaha, or when the Battle of the Bulge happened, or when Pearl Harbor was bombed? And the only reason I use the World War II is because that's when the Golden Age happened. And then after the bombs dropped, then the comic market changed to the Atomic Age, still in the Golden Age, but the additional descriptor of Atomic Age, because they went away from the supers. And then my favorite era, other than the Golden Age, I like a lot of eras, but my two favorites are the Golden Age and the Atomic Age. I grew up in the Silver Age, so sentimentally, I love the Silver Age and have a lot of silver because I remember growing up with it. But the fact that crime and Good Girl and horror and science fiction from 1946 to when the Code came in were wild and amazing and creative. And then we also got slammed with Korea. And then we had those Korean war covers, which are War Fury is a Korean war cover. They showed that kind of, they didn't show that stuff on the Golden Age. They showed, Schomburg would show stuff. He showed the ovens, I mean, in Cap 46, the Holocaust cover. But for the most part, they're just punching them. They're punching teeth out of them and shooting them. And, you know, maybe they're flaming them up a little bit, but not like
a little bit.
Well, a bit. So anyway, but this is my I have never seen anything like this, with this cast of creators still alive and brought together in one place to then sign this thing. And it's a copy of the periodical that I worked for. So that's what I got.
Very cool. Very cool.
I hope you like it.
Yeah, it was very nice. Okay, I'm going to actually wrap it up, but I have some good news that happened as we were doing this broadcast.
The test is negative.
The books are printed.
Hey, great!
The books are printed. They're just coming from the printer to the guy that's going to be distributing them.
A guy named Steve in Portland, Oregon. You can't trust him. You can't trust guys named Steve in Portland.
It's a different Steve.
Any of them.
Don't trust them from Portland.
They're squirrely.
But so the books are printed, and they hopefully will make it out for Christmas. That'd be nice.
Oh, man.
But if you're in Canada,
you ain't getting them.
Ain't getting them. It's a rough Christmas this year. Santa can't come this year. So yeah, but it is what it is. Hopefully we can sort it out.
Congratulations, Alan. Sincerely, it's been a long haul, and your baby is finally coming out where everyone can enjoy it and have it in hand. And I really, personally, I am super looking forward to getting my shipment from the guy. I really am looking forward to it. I got every one that you got. I bought every single one, and if I get them If I get them before you, if you want me to, I'll show them. If not, I will wait until
We'll figure
I
out
will let
something.
you. Well, no. I will wait to there. It's your baby, and you have the right. If you don't want to show them, I ain't showing them until you want to, because it's your baby, and you should have the right to show them first.
Mm.
I mean, it has to
Yeah.
be. That's only fair.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long haul, but it's, finally close.
I'll be drinking heavily and laughing as I get to look at them myself. However,
I know, it's like,
I
the guy that creates the books
I'm going to
is going to
pour
want
about
us to get
three
them.
fingers. I'm going to pour 3 fingers of Buffalo Trace on the rocks, and I'm
Mhm.
going to get gooned looking at my books, and I'll be laughing and laughing. Then I'll call you,
Okay, thanks.
and you'll say, "Who is this?" Click.
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks everyone for hanging out tonight.
Thank you, Alan.
And I guess we'll do it again on Friday. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, bye for now.
Thanks everyone for coming.